What if I told you that you're not lazy? You're just untrained. What if a single story could change everything for you? Today, I am going to share a life-changing story from ancient Arabia that holds the key to unlocking your true focus and potential. Stay with me for this one. In the heart of a majestic, sun-drenched city, known for its grand libraries and wise scholars, lived a young man named Zayd. He was blessed with a mind as quick as a desert falcon, able to grasp complex ideas from poetry to astronomy in a single hearing. His dream was to become a master scholar in the city's House of Wisdom, a place where all the world's knowledge was gathered. But Zayd's brilliant mind was also his heaviest anchor. It was a restless spirit, constantly wandering. He would sit with a valuable manuscript, determined to study, but the sounds of the bustling souk outside his window would pull him away. The tales of merchants, the scent of spices, the distant music, each was a thread that unraveled his focus. He'd tell himself, "My mind is sharp. I will study when the city sleeps." But when the quiet of the night finally came, his mind would drift into daydreams of adventure, and later would become the dawn of another wasted day. His teachers saw his gift, but they also saw the shadow of his inattention. Potential is like a seed, Zayd, they would say. Without the discipline of water and sun, it will remain just a seed. But Zayd believed his cleverness alone was enough to make him grow. Then came the day of the entrance examination for the House of Wisdom. It was the key that would unlock his dream. Zayd was confident, but when faced with the deep questions that required hours of dedicated study, his mind was a blank scroll. He had failed. Young men he knew to be less gifted, but more diligent, were granted entry. The heavy doors of the House of Wisdom seemed to close on his future, and the silence of his failure was louder than any noise from the souk. Consumed by shame, Zayd wandered to the quietest corner of the city, to the workshop of an old master calligrapher named Hakim, a man whose wisdom was said to be as deep and clear as the ink he used. "Wise Hakim," Zayd said, his voice heavy with defeat, "I have a mind that can soar, but I cannot seem to command it. It flies wherever the wind blows, and my dreams fall to the ground." Hakim looked up from the reed pen he was carefully carving. His eyes, full of patience, met Zayd's. "A mind without discipline," he said softly, "is like a beautiful, uncut reed. It has the potential to create art, but in its raw state, it can only make meaningless scratches. The problem is not the reed, Zayd. It is that you have never learned the 4 laws of the scribe. First," he said, taking a black stone and a stick of dry ink, "we prepare the ink. We add a few drops of water and grind, slowly and with purpose. This is your intention. Before you study, you must clear your mind and focus on one single goal. I will understand this one page. A clear intention creates a clear mind." "Second," Hakim continued, holding up the perfectly sharpened pen, "we shape the pen. This reed did not start this way. I carve and shape it daily. Your life needs the same. You must carve a routine into your day, a time for study, a time for rest. When your mind knows the shape of the day, it will stop fighting you and follow the path you have carved for it." Third, Hakim's voice became very quiet, "we must still the hand. You must create a sanctuary for your work, free from the noise of the souk and the chatter of your own mind. The greatest scribes learned a deeper secret. They understood how I tricked my brain to like doing hard things. They made focus the easiest option by removing all distractions, until the work itself became more interesting than the silence." "And the 4th law," Hakim said, pressing the pen to parchment to create a single perfect dot, "is to master the dot. Discipline is not one grand act. It is the daily practice of these small dots, of choosing focus for 5 more minutes, of putting a distracting thought aside one more time. Together, these dots create a masterpiece. Zayd left with a path. He returned to his small room and began. Before each study session, he would sit in silence and prepare his ink, setting a single, clear intention. He shaped his pen by creating a strict daily routine. Most importantly, he learned to still his hand by closing his shutters to the souk. The silence was difficult at first, but soon it became peaceful, and the books became his entire world. Months later, a competition was announced. The Grand Caliph sought their finest scribe. Zayd entered, armed not with talent, but with discipline. In the Great Hall, he was an island of calm. He prepared his ink. His hand was still, and for hours there was only him and the words. He didn't just win. His work was declared a masterpiece of clarity and spirit. He had finally understood the true power of a quiet mind. The moral of Zayd's story is a timeless truth that we often forget. Discipline beats talent. A wandering mind is a desert mirage, promising greatness but leading to sand. A focused mind builds an oasis that can last a lifetime. If this story resonated with you, and you want to continue to learn English through story here with us, please help this message grow by giving the video a like and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, this is MetaBloom Stories, reminding you that the greatest treasures are found not in the world, but within a focused mind.